We were laughing about this in the group chat. We're calling this crease gate or cadence.
Yeah.
So for those people who don't understand at home and in the PL office, the cadence, when face-off guys refer to the cadence, what they talk about is the referee's mechanic in how they do the face-off, and also the pattern of down, set, and whistle, which is standardized in all levels of our sport. So when we were told, Dan, based on the exact verbiage the PLL gave, but also half the coaches in the PLL and like 9 face-off guys in the PLL who talked to me, that the cadence is going to be different. Here's the issue, and that's different than every single other year, right? So as people notice, there's 2 perpendicular lines on the midfield line. Those perpendicular lines were put there by design because we wanted to make the ball line up higher on the heads in the PLL. Why? Because if the ball's lined up higher, it gets rid of lockups because the floppiest part of the plastic makes impact and the ball will come out cleaner and faster. Now, in year 1, Maddie and the rest of the officials said, we'll let you choke up on the plastic, we don't care. So it almost completely screwed up that idea. But the face-offs were still pretty even. When you don't have, so the referees were putting their foot there. Down, slide your stick right up against their foot so it's even every single time. Set, back out 3 or 4 steps, blow the whistle. That's the way it was supposed to be. Then in 2020, as we all saw in the bubble, it was a shit show. Guys were just rolling into it, whatever. Last year, the cadence changed again. So for Rachel at the PLL, who didn't know this, I guess, last year, Maddie would say down. They would go down, and then he would say, looks good, and blow the whistle. Players were literally instructed in training camp this time last year to go on the second O of good. That is a verbatim comment from a face-off guy. So when you watched PLL last year, everyone was guessing, moving, and diving in again. So when they said they changed the cadence, which is what they said to us, right? Change the cadence. Now the cadence is we're going to back out and we are going to trust you. Now this is another verbatim from an official for today. We're going to trust you to be professionals. So you're going to line up correctly. Hey, Dan, you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to freaking line up. Because every quarter inch, when you're going against the 9 best face-off guys in the world, every quarter inch closer to the throat you can get that ball makes literally the difference between going 17 and 20 or 4 and 20. So guys are going to line up. Now, here's my problem, Dan. The only real issue I have is they said that after they say down, they're going to say the word set 1 to 2 seconds after they say down, which means guys are going to touch their gloves to the ground and they're going to suddenly hear a swizzle call, which means they're not going to stop moving, which means they're going to line up incorrectly, and it's going to be an absolute shit show. Now, Rachel, everybody in the PLL office has my phone number. No one wanted to text me. So Rachel put out a tweet yesterday. I guarantee you they were all sitting in a room. She drew the small straw. All right, I'll tweet at Greg. And God bless her sweetheart. Her first sentence, we did not, in capital letters, change the cadence. The second sentence of the tweet was, this is how we change the cadence, describing how the cadence is different.
Do you want me to read it? I have it up. I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
So Greg tweeted out, so far what I'm hearing about the new PLL face-off cadence from training camp. Coaches hate it, players hate it. A direct quote. It's an absolute disaster, so it'll probably stay. Awesome stuff. Rachel DeSecco replies, Greg, there is not, in all caps, a new PLL face-off cadence. Refs are taking positions to get the call right and, all caps, avoid interfering with face-off exits. Specifically, an additional ref is positioned at the midline for efficacy. Ahead of the training camp, current face-off players, coaches, and referees were consulted. So I think the disconnect here, if I'm understanding this correctly, and I might not be, is you're including the ref backing away as part of the cadence, and they're not. They're saying that the cadence is their word of mouth, and they're keeping.
I don't know what they think, and that's the problem. Is none of them took a face off, right? So, and this is the thing. I don't have any animosity. I mean, Dan, you, me, Sibes, Scotty, all we want is the PLL to succeed. So when something doesn't make sense, we question it. Now, that means we're not kissing the ring every day, and I apologize for that. But guess what? We're going to be honest with you now. Here's the problem is it sounds like it's not a third ref. It sounds like it's the second ref is standing on the midline. Okay, so you're looking for leaning. That's great. But if you're telling people By the way, today there was and I quote, a meeting about the new cadence. Okay? The other things that I said, by the way, I wasn't bullshitting. Those were direct quotes texted or told to me on the phone from people at camp. Okay? So they need to get their story straight. Now, when you guys are talking about the cadence, what I'm saying is the problem that no one ever asked me why this would be an issue, and I'm going to tell you anyway, is you can't trust the guys to line up straight. You can't trust the guys to line up to the line because there's not a wall there. They're going to lean as much as they can. So if you're saying that within 1 to 2 seconds you're going to say the set call, you're just telling us that you're letting guys cheat. So yeah, there's a big issue. Why do I know that? Greg, you haven't seen a face-off. Because I faced off for 20 years, I'm telling you. I dealt with every weird, stupid rule that you can throw at it. Now, if they said, hey, if that 1 to 2 second thing wasn't in there, if you said when the official likes the lineup or deems it's a correct lineup, he will say set and blow the whistle, do your swizzle call. But if you don't do it, if you do it quick and you're just trying to get it in and out, by the way, the whole official safety thing bothers me because
is it official
you should
safety?
stay set and back out like it says in every rule book in our sport. But they never did that. They would go, looks good, and blow the whistle, and Matty would get pelted with balls left and right.
My question is it official safety, or is it so that they aren't preventing clean exits by the face-off man?
That's what they're saying. It's the same thing.
Okay.
And I would hate when a referee – I used to say all the time, dude, say set and back out. I need you to say set and back out. 1, I don't want to hit you with this anymore. 2, if I do, I'm trucking you because that's more important to me than you being safe. And 3, if you don't say set and give a pause, I have no inclination within the rules to stop moving because I'm not supposed to stop moving until I hear set. So that is the problem. Making it faster and being 8 yards back so you can't see cheating is ludicrous. So, yeah, that's my problem with it. And instead of tweeting at me, just text me and ask me, but that'll never happen. So that's the issue right now. And I think you're right. I think Sibes, when she tweeted that, I think she honestly thought that was what she meant by cadence. It's not. When face-off guys talk about cadence, we're talking about the mechanics of their official too.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point.
Yeah.